event, but I can't see y'all yet in the chat room. Hey, my loves. Hey, hey, hey. I hope that you are having an amazing Friday or Saturday, depending on what part of the world that you live in. Let me just adjust some stuff here to make sure that I could be able to see you. Give me 1 second. And actually, this is a good time to let me know that you can see and hear me so that we don't do like in the other chat where I was talking for a long time and didn't realize y'all couldn't see what I was showing you. So let me know that you can see and hear me. Yes. All right. So, well, I'm going to talk until somebody lets me know. Wait, let me see. Is there a way to let me know? Okay, so it says chat unmuted. Okay, Allison says she sees and hears me. Hey, Allison. So what's up, my goddesses? I wanted to have a face-to-face with you before I get on the plane to Bali. Hey, Angela. And some of you are coming with me, so I am sure you are in the thick of your packing or getting ready or whatever you're doing. I am going out there a week early, and it's interesting what happens, like when you're evolving in your life and taking steps forward, as I'm sure many of you have shared with me as you've been in this program. You see that then resistance starts, sometimes internal, and sometimes you manifest things in the external world. So I have been fighting this crazy cold that I am seeing myself free of by the time I board the plane. I am happy. I am healthy. Life is happening for me, not to me. And so I got two kinds of Theraflu, day and night, to help me to get there. But all is well. All is well. So like I said, I wanted to just have a face to face with you because although I am told that I will have, Bali is known for having really janky Wi-Fi. And before I go to the Running the Abundance Pray Love Retreat, yay, for a week beforehand, I'm going to be at a villa, which is lovely and amazing. And I will definitely live stream you guys from there if the internet situation works out. So, like I said, I wanted us to be able to have a face to face to answer your questions, and just make sure that everybody's on the right track. And one of the things that we had talked about was, okay, well, having implementation weeks. And one of you reminded me, we only had, I promised regular implementation weeks, and we only had one, she said, but we actually had two. It was like a 1.5 within where I gave like a 2-week time to catch up. So I'm thinking that although I had Tech Heather lined up to come in and work with you guys, that this might be a good time to do that, and then have Heather when I come back, because Heather's going to be presenting on Facebook ads, and I want to be in that conversation with you guys to share some of the things that haven't worked, some of the things that have worked. She can share it from a technical, her technical expertise, but I want to be able to talk to you about somebody that's doing what you're doing with the Facebook ad situation. And also some of the folks that are coming to Bali need to hear that lesson as well. Hello, Goddess Shu. So let me know if you are feeling like having time to digest, because I laid a lot on you in the coaching business in a box kit and the podcast in a box kit came this week. Coaching business in a box kit was last week, and those are both big mama jammas that my statistics show me that most of you have not even had a chance to crack open and access. So let me know if you feel like having time to catch up for the next week and a half would be of value to you. Would that be of value to you, Allison, Shu, Angela? I know that you are going to be packing and on your way and probably trying to catch up with things before Bali. and the others of you who haven't shouted out yet, but I do see that you're there. I can't see your names, but I do see that you're there. Let me know if you feel like it would be really valuable for you. Allison says yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. And so then what I'm going to do is leave because Samora is going to be in Bali with me. And so Super Nadine is one of my other amazing assistants. And so Super Nadine will be, you know, managing the emails, Facebook pages, everything like that, just to make sure if you have any concerns or needs or anything like that, that she can get them to me ASAP. But I want to stress that, it is my intention that if the internet works out, the internet gods, the way that they have promised me and assured me that it will, um, then it'll be me chatting with you. But like I said, Bali is known for having just poor internet. They tried to give me a technical explanation of why the country just isn't there yet in terms of infrastructure. But it was kind of, it's not my area of expertise. All that I got from it was that, yeah, there's janky internet, even with the best intentions, and it'll be what it needs to be. So Angela says she feels overwhelmed and she's using Bali for a restart. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you said that, Angela, because I think that a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed. And I think that it's really important to be able, for us to be able to talk about it rather than feeling overwhelmed in isolation and thinking everybody else has so many great things going on and that you don't. Let's see. Okay, so Asiri says she can't access. Yes, Asiri, I'm going to put the correct link now. The links have been corrected. There was also, yeah, a broken link with the coaching business in a box kit, which I didn't discover until 2 seconds before this call when I wanted to pull it up to show it to you guys. So let me show you. I'm going to put into the chat Asiri the corrected link, but it's also been corrected now in your virtual classroom. Okay, it's login.coachingbusiness in a box kit.com. And that's why you have to check and double check all of your links that you put up, because what I realized was that the person who had posted it for me had spelled business wrong. Business had like two N's in it, and it just then obviously the link did not work. So check that one. Let me see. Did I spell it? Let me make sure I spelled it correctly. Let's see. And just check that you should be able to access it. And even if that link doesn't work for both the coaching business in a box kit, both, oh, I think I did just spell it wrong here too. Let's see. Now it's an epidemic. I put in two N's as well here. And for the record, I was not the same person that put them in before. It's the in a box kit. All right, so I'll put the correct link now. Test your links, test your links, test your links. Okay, so that is the correct one. But what I was going to say is, for the record, just so that you know, with the coaching business in a box kit, with the podcasting in a box kit, and the other things that are going to be coming up for you, lots of amazing things, that it's always added to, if for whatever reason a link doesn't work, under your name in the virtual classroom where all of my programs that you're enrolled in are listed, you'll just find it there and you can log in there. So check that link for me, goddesses, and let me know that you can access it. And so, Angela, would you please share with us, my love, where you're feeling overwhelmed? Is it just with everything? Is it the prospect of starting something new, or is it the prospect of, because it's a big jump from having an idea, building a website, we all talk about it together in our safe space, and then bam, now opening your doors to the public and putting it out there and being like, here I am, here's my stuff. So tell me, and other people too, if you are feeling some of that overwhelm, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because like I said, people operate in isolation and don't talk about it at all. And, this is a conversation that I've been having with several of my spiritpreneur sisters who are multi-million dollar earners, also feel overwhelmed and alone. And so we were like, okay, let's have, we're forming some masterminds, and getting together to talk about it. So let's talk about it. What is going on? Because it's hello, Marae. Yay. What's going on, my Caribbean queen? This is an important conversation because, it's the stuff that holds us back is not necessarily what kind of website should I use, and, what are the steps to launch my course. It's that internal stuff where it builds up and we feel overwhelmed, and then we scare ourselves sometimes, frankly, scare ourselves and then retreat. And we don't want that. We need to move forward. Let's see. Okay, so Angela said, yes, it's a combination of starting a new thing, plus I need to get more clarity on what and how I want my business to look like. Okay, so this is really, really an important thing to talk about, and the online stuff. Okay, this is an important thing to talk about. So here's where you want to bring in some of your goddess visualization skills and your imagination, particularly for, like, Angela, you had a pretty traditional career path up until now, where it was kind of structured. And so if you followed the path in the right way, it was kind of set out for you of, okay, this is what it's going to look like. So it's very scary when you're building your own business and it's like, it could look like anything like that. Honestly, can be terrifying to think of it that way. Like, wait, it's all on me? Yeah, it is all on you, but that is the gift of it. And so if Angela, if magically up every day and you could wave a magic wand and your business would look like what it would look like, let's just play fantasy play, and you all can share with me, everybody share with me as well, what would your business ideally look like if you could just imagine like your fantasy, because even when we are creating our big dreams, let me just make sure my phone is off. Yeah, it is. Even when we're creating our big dreams, I've been sharing with you, like, I realize that, that there are ways that I've been holding myself back. And so I had to go back into the lab, and be like, okay, you know, where have I been playing small? And in my wildest dreams, not in, okay, the playing it safe mode, because playing it safe for different people looks like different things to different folks. So in my wildest dreams, like, what would my dream business ideally look like? And then it's like, okay, even though what you're doing can look like a dream from someone else's point of view, how does it look like as a dream to you? How many hours a day or a week are you working? Are you at home, or are you in your own office with other people? Is it a virtual business with you and assistants around the world and around the country? Or are you all there, in a structure working together? What do you need? Like, do you feel inspired by the ability to work with people one on one? Or do you feel, over the phone or via Skype? Do you feel inspired to be there with them in person in a group and get energy that way? Or would you rather just, be able to create digital, courses that they can access and, be able to, work with them that way? So even though the sky is the limit, and yes, Angela, totally makes sense that would be overwhelming. It's like, okay, now you get to create your own structure. So what does that look like? And it starts with asking, how do I want my life to look like? What do I want to feel when I wake up in the morning? And that's a good question to ask, even like with, the clients that you work with. How do I want to feel about my clients? How do I want them to feel about me? Because we've been talking about, all of the structural building blocks, of building a business, right? The masculine energy stuff, but it's yin and yang. And so again, the reason why we're doing this is not because you want to just create your life in what people think, oh, this is, the box of what a coach or an entrepreneur or, infopreneur or spiritpreneur looks like. You want to be able to create it around your dreams, your fantasies, how your life, yes, designing a business, exactly as you said, the lifestyle that we intend to live. And so I had to get very clear about the fact that, in the next 24 months, I am adopting two little girls, right? So I'm adopting, a little girl in early 2018 and then another little girl after that. And so beginning to put so then my business then, because I'm realizing that I love doing international work and international retreats. So it's like, okay, I'm getting in a lot of travel before that point. So I am speaking in the Bahamas later this summer at a creativepreneur summit. Then I'm going back to London and Paris and speaking there later this year. And then I'm going to try to get in a Hawaii retreat that I'm working on, and then a New York event that I told you all, some of you who maybe knew or may not be familiar, but I'm wanting to have a New York event around December or so that you could be able to meet each other in person, those of you who are far away, and to be able to announce you to the world. Because yeah, I'm already proud in advance and know in advance that you're going to be rocking and rolling and doing your thing. And so, it's like, okay, I want to get in all of this travel before March of 2018. And so it's planning your business around your life, right? Yay. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Siri. So, and then even with that, like thinking, okay, I want to be able to structure so that I prefer to have a home office. So having a home office that is big enough for me and two in-person assistants, that works for me. And being able to have, a nursery wing that is in the same space where rather than taking my child as an infant out of the home, somebody can come into the home. So again, it's thinking about, okay, well, what would it take to make that happen? And then figuring that out and planning your life around it. Because literally, I promise you, I know it may not sound like it or seem like it when you're trying to figure out the web stuff and all of that, but if you are very clear about what, the people that you want to serve, and you are very clear in dialogue with them about what it is that they need, and that you're treating people not like people, not numbers or opt-ins or any bullshit like that, like you're really genuinely, in service, and it's funny because there's this coach that I've been talking to, and she hates when people say, "Oh, that they're in service." And I told her, I was like, that's how I see it, And so, if you are truly, then figuring out what people need and giving them what they need, then the sky is the limit for your business, because that is, that's the basic business model of any entrepreneur. And anytime that there's a disconnect, it's because you either have the wrong thing that you're offering, because you haven't connected with the right people, or you haven't listened to them and gotten clear on what it is that they need. Or the other side of it is fear and resistance are blocking you from putting yourself and your work and your ideas out there, which is 99.9% of the case here with, my beautiful, magical women. And so that's why, I was like, all right, let's get the Facebook pages up running, because those kinds of things take away the ability to say, oh, but my website. You don't even need a website. A website is great because it shows, if I want to go and you look reputable and all of that stuff, but you can be launching from your Facebook page. And so, when I come back, it is good to catch up, because when I come back, we're going to be in strictly launch mode. So if you haven't put yourself out there, we're going to be like, okay, let's just put ourselves out there and see what happens. Because Angela, and anyone else who is feeling overwhelmed, when we sit in the overwhelm, especially when you are smart, brilliant people, you think it's over here, and you try to think yourself out of the overwhelm. You try to think yourself out of, trying to figure it out. But the only way to get past it is to literally just step out there, because it's when you step out there, when you step out on the virtual stage as it is, and you see that the sky hasn't fallen, you haven't, shamed your tribe, made a fool of yourself, fallen on your face, or even if you did, that you're still breathing, you're still living, it is what it is, and that life goes on. That's the only way to do it. Your body has to feel, okay, I'm safe. It's safe. Wait, I did that and I'm still standing. I did that and it's fine and it's okay. And the only way to do it is literally put yourself out there. You can't think your way into it. You can't think your way into it. And so Angela, or other people who are going to be leaving, great, a good job and all of that, eventually, will people think that you're crazy or wonder what you're doing or wonder? Yeah, they will. They will. I'm not going to tell you that they won't. And they will, even, at the point of, when they see and know that you're fine and know that all is well. But that is okay. That's okay, because the interesting thing is that the world is getting caught up, at a very rapid pace. So even, the idea of, being a life coach, which years ago was like foreign or weird or snake oil or whatever, people now are starting to get it and see it, and it's more visible. And so don't worry, the world will catch up. And what's most important is not that people who you're not talking to feel like, oh, I get her. It's what's most important is that the folks that you are talking to, like I said in other conversations, find your people that you love on them, let them love on you. And that is what you do. That's it. That's it. That's it. All the rest is bells and whistles. So what we are just trying to do is just hone down, what it is that you're offering. If I am your ideal client, what is keeping me up at night? What is my burning challenge? What is my problem, my issue? How do I describe it to my friends? Right? So not how, you and I might say it, not the psychological terms or the spiritual terms for it or anything like that. you know what is it that you would say to your friend? Would you turn to your friend? What is she going to turn to her friend necessarily and say, oh, I'm feeling, blocked in the throat chakra? Maybe she would. You have to know your ideal client. But she might be able to say, I feel like these MFers keep cutting me off every time I'm trying to say something. And so that's where you talk to her from. You talk to her from where she's coming from, because that's how we want anybody to deal with us. So that's what you got to do. Like, figure out, okay, who is this person? That's why we spent so much time on the ideal client and your unique guru proposition. And I know that, people wanted to leap ahead, but then you saw when you left over that it was like, wait a minute, you could go and create something, create a course, create a product, create a whatever, but who's it for? How are you going to get it to them? And who are you? Why should they get it from you instead of anyone else? So that's why we want to get clear on those things. That's why we want to get clear on those things. So Asiri is hiding behind her niche choice. Ooh, tell us more, Asiri. Tell us more. Are you talking about the mommy compass? Because I think that the mommy compass is a really, really powerful idea. And like I said, I could see it being something that is huge because it's it's visible, it's visual, it is something that every mother needs. People are presumably wanting to raise conscious children or children who are tuned in. If you are a mom like Asiri or Allison or Angela or Shu, like, or Marae, you're wanting to have, children who are leading elevated lives. And so I think that if Asiri could be the person who helps us to fill in that gap, I think that that is a really valuable offering. So tell us more. Tell us, how are you hiding? And anytime that you suspect that you're hiding or someone says you're hiding, you probably are. You probably are. And usually what it requires then is some tweaking, not necessarily, full on self destruct and scrap everything you have. Sometimes it's just some tweaking, some little minor tweaking. Anybody else feel like they are hiding? And if you do feel like you're hiding, what are you going to do about it? Because what I decided to do about it is, the cure for hiding is being seen, right? So to be more visible, there's no way to think yourself out of it. It's just putting yourself more out there, showing people more of you having the courage to be your vulnerable self, and let people then feel like, okay, this person is authentically themselves. I can be authentically myself. And that is true in every single niche, every single niche, you know? Because if you're approaching it with walls and with hiding, then your clients are not going to feel comfortable with you. They're not going to feel magnetized towards you. They're going to feel like something's off, and they won't know why, but they're going to feel like there's something that I'm not getting from this person. Versus when you just, put it all out there, and say, all right, here's the truth of me, here is my life, here's who I am. um and that is why you don't need to be perfect to put yourself out there, because your vulnerabilities, your imperfections, the fact that I'm like double fisting it with cold medicine, the stuff that's just real, like it just is what it is, and we're all human beings and we can relate to each other at that level. And again, that's something that, you know people in a lab can't make up. Procter and Gamble can come up with a reasonable facsimile of a Siri and her beautiful kids, etc., but they can't recreate it. They cannot. So, yeah. So, anybody else feel like you are hiding? Tell me your thoughts on hiding. Okay, a Siri says, I thought so too. I'm thinking maybe the comment came before. Oh, she would no longer be my target audience. The point that I was limiting my scope. Shu says I've been hiding with social media and video. Okay, so we will talk about that in a bit, Shu, because a lot of people have been doing that. Let's see. So a Siri, that makes sense. So if it feels like, okay, well, before I thought you were talking to me, if you were going to have a big, broad reach, and now you're talking to just this group of people, and I feel like I'm missing out. So here's the cool thing. Once you get strong on your mommy compass crowd, and I am telling you, Asiri, like the mommy blogger world is deep and strong and has dollars to spend, and advertisers want to be in bed with the mommies talking all the mommy stuff. So there is lots of abundance there, lots and lots of abundance, and lots of connection, lots of everything. But the beautiful thing is that once you're deep in your mommy world, then you may find some of those other ideas that you had, some of those other people that you wanted to work with in the past or be in service with your company. There may be other offerings that you then are able to offer to them. So it's not like you're saying forevermore, these will be my ideal clients forever and ever. It's like, okay, these are my soulmate clients and this is who I am beginning with. And the reason is, again, it's like if somebody gets up at the Oscars or something and says, I want to thank everybody, thank you, good night, you've thanked no one. It's the same thing if you say, this is for everyone. All right, well, I don't consider myself everyone, so maybe I'll kind of half listen to it, but talk to me if I'm your ideal client. You see what I'm saying? And so you cannot reach your ideal client by being general. You cannot, you just can't. And so by saying this is for conscious parents, you are going to turn some people off. My sister had a children's book that I love that I can't wait to get called A is for Activists. And she was reading it to my brother, who is extremely conservative. Another conversation. But she was reading it, no, not to my brother, to my niece, who is the daughter of my brother. And, my brother said he would like his daughter not to be read that book, um, which is his choice. It's his child. So some people will be like, look, mommy consciousness or whatever, mommy compass, that's a crock of ish. And, we don't need that. Some people will, but that's okay. Again, you're not for everybody. So some people, they may put it in different language, and they may think it's stupid or they may think it's whatever. But again, you go deeper. You don't move back. You double down. You don't get general in terms of your language. You get more specific in terms of your language, because the mommies that you're talking to, if, future casting, if 2 years from now, with my two little girls, and a series got her mommy compass program, and she's got a bustling community of 100,000 women. Yeah, 100,000 mommies strong, right? And she has tools on, raising conscious children. And she says, how to get your child's chakras aligned. I'm there. I'm all there. Other people will say, look, that's a crock of bean to it, and that's okay, because they won't be your target market. I will be paying for you and your services, and so will, tons of women like me who also agree that they want the same things for their child that they want for themselves. Okay? So you've got to just, again, get clear and go deeper. Don't retreat, go deeper into it. Go deeper with it. All right, so let's see. Hey, Afua. Let's see. Okay, so Afua says, and Shu, I will come back to your comment. Hey, I'm clearly putting myself out there, being vulnerable, yet I'm hiding with my UGP. Yes, you are. Now, Afua is somebody who is hiding with her UGP, which still remains. All right. It scares me. I feel like I am a coach, like beyond vocal coach. What does it look like for me? And do I put different course options on my website, or it just feels big? Yeah, it is very big. And I feel like, to me, that you are still way more general than you need to be. I feel like if you thought about, okay, think about who would be the people who are looking for your services. Like before, when I was talking about like public speakers, now that can seem like, when you say something like that, very limiting, very like, okay, well, that sounds like boring, stodgy people, but it's not, because what you will do is you will have multiple offerings and multiple ways to serve, but you've got to start with just one. You've got to start with just, okay, this is who I'm serving and this is what I'm serving. Don't worry, there will be time and room for the other people and the other things. And here's the cool thing. Even though you maybe working with someone on their vocals, and that may be their way into your life, you can still be a transformational coach and leader that helps to lead them through all of the other parts of their lives. So, for example, I don't know if you're familiar with this woman, AJ something. She's a Black woman who, she was on the Lindsay Lohan series. Yeah, I watched it. I don't know if y'all watched it, but Lindsay Lohan had a series about 2 years ago or 3 years ago on the OWN network, where she was trying to get her life together. She was working with a life coach, and AJ was the coach on that. She's also an actress, and back in the days, she was in a movie with Taraji Henson, and I think Baby Boy. I feel like she played I feel like she played the mom in Baby Boy. Anyway, she is a fitness coach. That is her way that most people access her. But she's a transformational coach. Like, people come to her for fitness, but she helps them to get their whole life together and their whole life in gear. So people don't know that they need somebody who's going to come in, a vocal coach who's going to, start with their vocals and help them really to find their true voice, not just their physical voice. We don't know that we need that until you create it and tell us that we need it. And then we say, wow, that's exactly what I need. So figure out, who are you talking to? Again, maybe it's the people who are people pleasers and don't feel comfortable to speak for themselves. So you help women who, and that then has subsets in it. There are, for example, abused women who are trying to find their voice. There are corporate women who work in corporate America and are afraid to speak up, who are trying to find their voices. There are, so figure out, again, get very specific about what it is, who it's for, what the offering is. And it doesn't mean that this is what you're going to, you're locked into this offering forever. Because the cool thing, once you start working with your clients, is that they will help your work to grow, because then you'll say, oh, I realize that I need this piece, and I realize that I need that piece. And you won't know those things while you're by yourself trying to come up with it. There's no way for you to know what you don't know. And the only way to get that is, here's my kitty cat, Annabelle. The only way to get that is by putting yourself into the wild, have the world, working with people who say, this part works, this part doesn't. I need this. I realize that, my husband or my wife is an asshole and I need more voice to speak to them, or whatever. The only way to do it is to create it and give birth to it. You can't, while the child is in you, be trying to figure out, okay, figure out the whole life plan of how you could be the best parent for this child when you haven't met the child. You haven't introduced the child to the world. And so then when you see who the child is and how the child interacts, it's like, okay, my baby now needs this to be what I need it to be. My baby needs this to expand and be the best that he can be. All right? So let's see. Okay, so let me go back now before I get to Allison. I'm going to go back to Shu's question. So Shu says that she has been hiding with social media and video. I think that a lot of folks have, and it's because, it's so public, so for example, your family members, they go and they do their job wherever, and no one necessarily sees them. But if Shu is broadcasting a video, then there's a potential for her brother or her cousin or whoever to be like, oh, well, what are you doing? Well, why are you doing that? Well, what are you talking about? Well, what's yoni, what's a woke yoni or whatever, you know what I mean? And so going back to what Angela was saying earlier about launch fears, that is an additional layer of stuff. That is an additional layer of stuff. When I, just last year, one of my cousins asked to, sent a request to join one of my Facebook groups. And I was like, and that made me really uncomfortable, because I was like, why is she sending me a request? Like, why is she doing this? Like, I didn't invite her. Why? But it's public, it's public knowledge. It's there. She's on my Facebook page. So she saw it and she's like, this looks interesting. And so it made me feel really uncomfortable, because I didn't know how she was going to react about certain things that I was saying and, all of that. And then I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. And see, Siri, I could be using your vocal coaching right this minute. It is what it is. I am who I am. Your work is your digital temple and your home and your shrine. And those who choose to interact with you, whether they've known you since sixth grade or, gave birth to you or not, or whatever, this is still your work and your offering into the world. And I do acknowledge, fully that the public nature of it, the fact that, if you were the local dry cleaner, you would just hang up your shingle in front of the store and everyone would get it. The public nature of you broadcasting and putting yourself out there and all of that is daunting. It is scary. It is scary. And some people will be like, what the hell are you doing? But more likely, people will be like, what the hell are you doing? This is awesome. This is amazing. Wow. I always knew that Shu had this magic in her and how amazing it is for her to put it out there. And those that don't feel that way, they'll fall away. Or if you're related to them, they'll be there. And it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. But again, like I was saying, the only way to get past that is by let's do this, Shu. Announce a weekly broadcast. Announcing things publicly is a great way to make yourself accountable. And so let's do that. Everyone here, pick a day, type in a day right now. People who are coming with me to Bali, it's okay. You don't have to start it till we get back. Type in a day that is the weekly Shu show, a Fua show, whatever it is. Type it in. Let's see. And like I told you, I have realized that I was hiding. And so one of the ways that I am going to be more visible is I'm branding all of my stuff, all of my any broadcasts I have as the Abiola Show and the such and such segment. So you're watching the Abiola Show, and today we're in Spiritpreneur School. You're watching the Abiola Show and blah, 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 blah. Because that's scary as hell for me. That's terrifying. For people to be like, oh, it's a show now? She's sitting on her couch. She's in her couch in the living room. It's a show now? Yeah, it's a show. So again, the only way to do it is just put yourself out there. Okay, so the Angela show will be on Wednesdays. The Allison show is Sunday evenings. Okay, come on. Afua, when is yours? Let's see. Thank you. I am quieting my perfectionist so I can get clear, give birth, and then adjust. Yes. Okay, Sunday. Asiri was born on a Sunday. Beautiful. I was born on a Saturday. Shoes will be Friday. Okay, yay. We are locking down the week here, ladies. This is awesome. And so, Afua, just to again reiterate, when you say you're quieting your perfectionist, the only way to shut that bee up is by you stepping out there and declaring yourself and putting it out there. The perfectionist does not get quiet with charts and graphs or whatever you do, you know? The only way, again, to quiet your perfectionist is by you putting yourself out there and then you seeing that you're safe. It's like when, we're learning how to walk and we take a few steps and it's fine, where you start a running practice and you run a few blocks and then you're like, okay, I didn't drop dead, I'm still good, and so just put yourself out there, just put yourself out there, just put yourself out there. Shu says her heart is beating so fast just typing the word. Yay, Shu, that's awesome. Monday shine, girl. Monday shine, and girl Fridays. That is awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, this is it, ladies. Like, this is your divine precious life. You don't want to, be wondering and have regrets and all of that kind of stuff. Like, this is like literally like this is where we are. This is it. You have these dreams, you have this stuff, and so what if someone, again, someone will think you're an asshole. They will. Somebody will think that you're an asshole. To give you an example, sometimes it used to take me a lot longer to figure out that if people weren't feeling me or weren't liking, like I had in my head, like, again, like the idea that I wanted people to like me, I felt like everybody liked me, whatever. This woman that I thought for a long time I thought she was my mentor. I thought she was like, someone who I was looking up to. And I have known her for a very long time, since I was in 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade, she was in 12th grade. And so I always like looked up to her. I was at one of her parties, and this is a very long time. Like, this is probably like 2008, 9, something like that. And she, like, just to kind of figured she felt like she was mocking me, played like a YouTube video or a video interview that I had with someone that I did online, played it at the party to be like, why is she doing this? Like, so again, some people will be like, oh, such and such is an asshole. Why is she doing that? But it's all good. It's all good, because here's the funny thing. life is cyclical, right? Life is cyclical. What goes up must come down. What comes down what must go up. It's all good. And so that woman and other people like that have called me trying to get a hookup, trying to get whatever, trying to get connections, trying to get lunch, trying to get a job, trying to get money, trying to get whatever. Like, so things go around and come around. It's all good. And even if they don't, it's still all good. It's still all good because you are living your purpose and being where you need to be. All right, so here, let's see. Allison says, my inner bully taunts me. Everyone seems to be much further ahead than I am, but I have to remember I'm just getting started and I'm growing as I go, but that's where my overwhelm comes from right now. All right, so Allison, every single person, I promise you, can relate to what you just said, including me. Every single person, every single person. So you can anybody can be further along. Michelle Obama could be wondering, oh, I could be further along. I'm a Harvard graduated lawyer, and what have I done with my life? I've been supporting my husband. I mean, anybody could figure out a way to terrify and terrorize themselves. And so one of the things that I've been finding really, really helpful lately is the process of scripting. And what scripting is, it's journaling, but kind of it's a combination of journaling and affirmations and visualization and futurizing. So Allison, one of the things that you might do, and Angela, everyone, this is probably a good practice for you to do. Write in your journal daily for maybe at least commit 5 minutes to it to begin with. Make it associate it with a meal, so maybe at lunch or dinners, because it's easier to keep a habit if you hook it into something that you know that you're already going to do. So maybe at 5 minutes after lunch or 10 minutes after lunch, you're going to do this, and you sit down and write about your life, the things that you are working on, as if they have already happened. And so this is way more powerful than you just thinking, okay, well, I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm thinking about it. Write it out. Write it out. Asiri is the fearless creator of the Mommy Compass brand. Everyone from Dr. Oz to Oprah Winfrey praises the Mommy Compass as a game shifter, game changer for people who are raising conscious children. The Mommy Conscious courses and merchandise, the empowering T-shirts that moms love to give to their children are selling like hotcakes. The affirmation notebooks that moms are buying from mommyconsciousness.com or the mommycompass.com, people can't get enough of them. My last book was a bestseller. Whatever it is, script it out, write it out, and that will help you to get more clear rather than just trying to deal with the gremlins and figuring out. And the beautiful thing, it's almost like magic. I'm telling you that when you do this, you will see things literally like lift up off the page into your life. The world does feel like it's rearranging itself to make things seamless for you, where it's like, oh, okay. All right, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, when you start to get clear and see your manifestations. Like sometimes there's residue from like old stuff. Like, so I needed to hire a new bookkeeper and accountant, somebody who's more accessible, who I can be able to meet with monthly or bi-weekly, and somebody who can really be on top of things. So, I asked around, I got referrals, and wasn't really feeling any of those people. So I just went on a Google search, found this woman, totally randomly, loved her, just looking at her bio breakdown. It wasn't even a bio, like it was like a CV, like a breakdown of like what her services were. And it felt in alignment because she had been a yoga teacher, or she was simultaneously a yoga teacher and a CPA. And I was like, yeah, like that's up my alley. and start to work with this woman. And of course, she's Guyanese. Like, just how like random is that in the world that this woman would be from Guyana, of like all of the CPAs in like the whole like country, that the one person that I pick is a woman from Guyana. So that was awesome. Here's what's not awesome. All of the, I love my mother dearly, but all of the naggy, mommy, judgmental stuff that, my own like money issues that I had, like the residue of that, like the residue of judgment of like, why am I spending this on this when I could be doing that or whatever, all of that stuff came along in the form of this woman. So now I kind of have to fire her because she's like, going through stuff, and she's like, and not in a healthy way, but she's like, oh well, I see why are you taking all these Ubers or whatever. It's like, look, I was not intending to hire someone to mother my money. Like, I was hiring somebody to manage my money, not mother it. Two totally different things. So it's really funny because I see very clearly that it was my own residue of judgment about financial consciousness that like I brought on in the form of this woman. But it's also interesting that she is from my mother country, home country, in to help to usher that in. So start to script out exactly, what it is, that vision. Angela, what we were talking about in terms of like, okay, what does your ideal business look like? Angela's self-love coaching practice is for this group of people, and it's for, I think that even one of the things that can even be daunting, but I think could be really, really powerful is, Angela, what if, I'm going to just pose this to you, and I want you, you don't have to give an answer now. Think about it. Think about it even through Bali. I feel like because you are coming from being a lawyer, what if your self-love coaching practice started out focused on lawyers? And I think that I have like it's interesting. I will share this with you. Hopefully my sister won't mind. But I had a vision also, even recently. I told my sister, because she's a Reiki practitioner, I said, I had this weird vision about Reiki for lawyers. And so it was like at 3 a.m. And so I told my sister about it. I told her I got up and started like Googling lawyers and personal issues, and there was so much stuff on lawyers and depression. Like, if you type in "why are lawyers," the words that come up after that in Google, the autofill, are "why are lawyers sad, why are lawyers depressed, why are lawyers miserable, why are lawyers unhappy." And so, Angela, if could it be possibly an easier bridge for you to build your self-love practice working with the people that you know best? That might be easier. I mean, in some ways that could be more scary, but I think that that could be a very needed service. So think about that. Think about that. So Shu loves the scripting. Okay, good. So Shu, when are you going to do it? Are you going to do it in the morning? Are you going to do it at night? When are you going to be doing your scripting? Okay, so let's see. This week she was off work. She went to different locations to work on her business, but wasn't at the riverfront. I was at, oh, very nice. I love that. Yay. Yes, exactly. So now add the scripting to it. A series says, wow, Angela, yeah. So how amazing, like, that there is this database, Angela, potentially, of lawyers, who are sad, miserable, don't know why, don't know what is going on in their lives, conflicted. And here you come. Yeah. And here you come, this bright beam of light that has walked their path, and you have somehow start to build yourself a bridge out of that. How amazing would that be? Oh, Angela, yeah, I know her. She's the premier self-love coach. Or then again, also you have to know your audience. So maybe lawyers may feel more comfortable with the words self-worth, or whatever it is, whatever you come to. But she works with lawyers. She's the exclusive life coach for lawyers. And people would be passing your number around and your information around like hotcakes, because then you could start to delve into very specific issues. You could have a program for people who are wanting to leave law. You could have a support group for people who are, just unhappy in their law practice. You could have a support group for wanting to go private rather than working with a firm. Like the possibilities are endless, and you would know way better than I would. But I think that that could be really, really amazing. I think that that could be a yay. Yay, there's Sandra. Sandra, I am so happy to see you. I'm glad that you're coming to Bali. Everybody give Sandra love. She is in. She is just getting started. She's going to be coming with us to Bali. And then afterwards, she is jumping in and making it pop. And Sandra is fearlessly facing her fears and stepping up and not letting the feeling of, oh my God, me by just happen and just sitting in that. So bravo for that. And someone, who was it? Was it Allison? Was it you who earlier said, the feeling of that everybody is ahead of you? I wanted to just address that a little bit. Um, because again, everybody feels like folks are ahead of them. I feel like folks are ahead of me. Somebody will always be ahead of you. Like they just will. And especially if you are starting something new. And so be easy with yourself. Be easy with yourself. And it's much better for you to put yourself out there in a way that is powerful, is substantial, is going to magnetize your ideal clients to you rather than, you just sitting around wondering what if, why don't I wish I could. And so Allison, I find a lot of like what it feels like you're doing is that you are like way ahead of yourself and then kind of beating yourself up for not being where you think you should be, and then getting caught up in all of that and not moving forward at all. And so rather than thinking about, okay, well, you can do all of that in your scripting. So in your journaling, you can write about, everything that Coach Roz is doing and how Coach Roz, she is rocking the world. But in the meanwhile, be building your blocks, your building blocks. Like, let's get very clear. Who is Coach Roz? What is she offering? Who is she offering it to? And so then you can find those people and we can get the offering to them. Okay. So we just need, Allison, I think, more clarity. Like it feels like things still aren't clear. Let's see. Okay. Yay. Yes. Definitely, definitely start back with the scripting. Yay. Okay. So any other questions? Wait, let me just refresh here. Okay, so Sandra, one of the things that everyone declared was a day of the week that they are going to be broadcasting, doing Facebook Lives or YouTube Lives. And so, Sandra, I know that you're just getting started and it's okay. Don't worry. You're going to hold your hand all the way through it. But what is one day a week, Sandra, that when we get back from Bali, that you could be putting yourself out there and broadcasting and we could okay, so Fridays at 3. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. So Fridays at 3. That is excellent. That's excellent. All right. So anybody else have anything to share before we go? Let's have some show offs to close with. So what are you proud of yourself about right this minute? Let's have some show offs, and it could be big, it could be small. Let's have it. Let's have it. What do you want to show off about? Show off about something. I'm going to show off about the fact that I feel it's interesting. Like, I'm glad that, although I was feeling technically under the weather, that I didn't let the terrorists win. And wanted to do a video conversation with you. And so we are doing that. And I feel like my voice is coming back. My voice feels stronger to me and is stronger than it was at the beginning of this conversation. And so yes, I will be boarding the plane happy and healthy and whole and healed. And I declare it and I claim it and I'm excited. Yes. What are you proud of? Let's brag. Let's show off. Chantel says, I have committed to get my yoga certification in August. Yay, Chantel! That is awesome. That is so awesome. What is your specific yoga certification going to be in, Chantel? Let us know, like what specific kind of yoga, so that we could hold a visualization for you. And let's do that for each person. As each person does their share, let's see them doing it. You know, there is power in the vibrational energy of us being together, and as we are here energetically and holding a vision for each other. All right, so Afua says, child, I just sang in public out in front of all these Broadway musical venues. Yes, like I belong because I do. Yes, 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 Afua, that is amazing. And you absolutely belong. You so much belong. Like a zillion times belong. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sandra says, I won a difficult case today, which is a great kickoff to a happy trip to Bali. Sandra, that is an amazing share. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. That is huge. That is huge. Yay. A series says, I started a Facebook for mindful moms in my city. Yeah. Oh my God, that is amazing, Asiri. Congratulations. I love the sound of that. And Asiri, I think also, if you haven't already, get a meetup group going in the same name, Mindful Moms Meetup Group. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so Shu says, I've completed my Yoni Challenge daily assignments and now I'm working on a guide with it. Yeah. Look at all of this magic that folks are making. Yes, I am so proud of you. That is amazing. Yes, let's see it. Let's hold the vision. Let's see Shu with her Yoni challenge that is wildly successful with the guided journal. Oh my goodness, I did. Do you know Shu? I know her. Yes, I did her Yoni challenge. It was amazing. It like, oh my gosh, it got me all aligned and cleared out my life, and now I'm ready. Yes. Oh yeah, I got the guided journal too. That was great. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so Chantel says Ashtanga yoga, yay, and learning healing rituals that she will incorporate into vinyasa. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yay, Chantel. What an amazing group of women. Yes, 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 yes. Any other show offs or shares before we close? Angela says she moved into a new place. Yeah, that's exactly what she wrote out in her journal in February. And despite it being super busy this week, I made it to this call because I knew it would restore me. Angela, that is amazing. And I I applaud the fact that you moved right before going on this big trip. Like that by itself is huge. Congratulations on your new place. I have been home shopping, so I know that that is a big deal, huge deal. And even just like you said, making it to this call right now in the middle of all of that, yay! That sounds amazing. Yes, Shu, I agree. I can't wait for Chantel's class as well. Amazing. Yes, right? Afua, like how amazing are these women? How amazing. I have to hurry up and get that December date to you guys because I want to make sure that you are all there so that you can meet each other in person. Actually, I have a June, yeah, it's June. Yeah, June date for New York. Let me give you the June New York date for those of you who are in the area and in the States. Um, just as a save the date. It is on my meetup, which is just set it up. It's manifestyourpower.com. So I'm just typing in manifestyourpower.com so I can see what the date is. If you're in the New York City area, please come on through. I would love to see you. Okay, so that's going to be it's a Tuesday, June 27th at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, June 27th at 7:30 p.m. at manifestyourpower.com. And I haven't even publicly announced it yet. Manifestyourpower.com. And that's going to be a small New York City meetup. Yay! So I am so proud of each and every one of you just for making it to this call. Like I said, is huge. And wait, she's got another one. I also released people and situations in my life that no longer are in harmony. That's a big one. Oh my goodness. And I am open to attracting energetically more people and experiences that are in harmony with me. Shoo, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Allison finished her course. Yes, that is amazing. You haven't named it yet, but it's a 30-day guide to finding your purpose. Yeah, Allison, that is huge. Congratulations, Allison. Yay! She says, I would like to acknowledge Afua. I took a sneak peek, listened to the podcast, and I heard Afua's beautiful voice. Yes. Congratulations, Afua. Let's celebrate you for that. Yes. Oh my God. I have something to say about that. Yes, I too. I've been finding it difficult, but I'm so proud of you. Oh, this is so awesome. Afua, I want to also acknowledge Afua for a really, really long time. Like, I felt like there was no one that I could trust to record things for me because the voice is intimate. Like, like I said, I wanted to have this as a visual conversation. Like, like you're my peeps. Like I'm in an intimate coaching relationship with you. This is not like just like some like bullshit, like where it's like whatever, like this is my calling, so to trust that to someone, like the only person that I honestly have ever thought that I could have record anything for me, and I actually had spoken to my sister about this, was my sister, because she's my sister. And I have other siblings. I have a lot of half siblings. I'm Caribbean, African and Caribbean people will know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of half siblings, but my sister, like she's the only person that, and again, let me disclaimer, I don't think of my half siblings as half siblings. I just said that just for clarification purposes. But anyway, my sister, same mom, same dad, who I grew up with in the house, like she's the only person that I could think of, like entrusting my work to put voice to it. And Afua has been so exceptional, so amazing, and she's about to record the life coaching business in a box book. There's an ebook that goes with that I decided, and she doesn't even know this, I'm going to be hiring her to record the Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love, because I really need an audiobook out there. People keep asking for it. I haven't had time to do it in 3 years. And like I said, I kept feeling like, well, but I don't want anyone else to, like, it's my baby and it needs to be me. But Afua, her energy vibration is so in alignment with my work, and I so believe in and trust her and think that she has this beautiful voice and spirit. And so it's amazing. Of course, this is what she feels she was born to do as well. Her beautiful voice, her shine comes through. That, yeah, I'm like, yeah, she's got it. She's the only, like, she's got to record the Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love so it could be in the world. So yeah, so there. So yeah, so Afua is amazing. Yay. Okay, so I'm just looking to see. Yes. So again, Nadine is my assistant who is going to be at the helm here because Samora is going to be in Bali. And I just want to say that whenever there is Wi-Fi, I will be checking in. Hopefully there will be Wi-Fi all the time. AT&T told me that they're going to try to do a hotspot thing on my phone, but they also said Bali's outside of their realm. So we shall see, but I look forward to talking to you on the other side. All right. And in the meanwhile, you have 2 weeks to catch up coaching business in a box kit and podcast in a box kit. If for whatever reason you can't access any links, the links are just go to where all of your courses are, log in, go to womanifestingyou.com or womanifestinguniversity.com. It'll all take you to the same place. Click log in. When you log in and you see all of your courses, you will already see Womanifesting. You will already see coaching business in a box kit and podcasting in a box. And if you don't, let us know. We'll remedy it, but you do. It's there. It's there. Okay. Yay! All right, my loves. Yay, Amua! And Shu, yes, you will be in Bali. Absolutely. I declare it. I see it. I claim it. I claim all of your magic. I am so happy, so inspired, so proud of each and every one of you. Proud and inspired by your magic. And let us keep moving forward. Bigger and better, bigger and better. And actually, no. I'm going to take away bigger and better because that's a very like masculine energy thing, that everything's got to be bigger and better. More and more in alignment, more and more on purpose, more and more abundant joy, abundant happiness, more and more being in tune with who we were born to be. Yes. And I want to just add that quote like that I posted today in our Facebook group from A Course in Miracles, like really did like shake me to the soul. Like it was something like we have received many answers, but we haven't heard a lot of them. So let's think about that and know that you already have everything that you need in order to do the work that you came to do. And it's going to be fierce. Yay! All right, my loves, be seen, be heard, be a movement. Love you. Namaste. Yay!